Hello everyone, welcome to the second module of Lidar Annotation course. In this module, we'll go through the stepping stones of annotation. We will also compare image annotation with Lidar annotation and get started with different tools used for annotation. In the previous module, we understood the basic concepts of Lidar and how its output is produced. Let us dive deeper into understanding the annotation process of point clouds. We have very similar two images shown here. Both of them, as you must have guessed, are from autonomous vehicle application. They both have vehicles, with one key difference. Yes, the bounding boxes. The left one has a square bounding box, while the right one has a cuboid. This is a very simple illustration between 2D and 3D data annotation, which we will dive deeper into next few slides. What do you see in this image? On one side, we have an image of a road with traffic lights, trees, and lane markings. On the other side, the right side, we have a very colorful representation of the same picture but in points. We can still make out where the trees are, where the lampposts are, the lane markings, and so on. And this is nothing but what LiDAR annotation is about. It is the process of labeling our 3D point cloud data generated by LiDAR sensors. This process is essential to help machines and algorithms understand the environment by assigning the meaning to the point cloud data, such as identifying objects as cars or trees, or areas as roads or buildings in the environment. Thus, we take in the raw point cloud data, which are just a collection of points with no context whatsoever, and then we attach a meaning to it using the process of annotation. Now, if you think of the left image in the previous slide, it is nothing but 2D image annotation, which involves labeling flat image captured by cameras, like drawing boxes around the cars, called as bounding boxes, or marking lanes on the road. Now, before we start with the annotation process and understanding the types of annotation, let's let's understand some of the terms that we will be repeatedly using. The first one would be classes and labels. When we see a picture, there may be one to many objects in it. Suppose that you want to have a program that can take in images and predict whether those images have apples or donkeys in them, or even both together. So, for this, we will have to train the program to learn how to identify apples and donkeys from other objects. This is where classes come in. Each object becomes a class. So it is nothing but a category of an object you want your computer to recognize. Now, now we know what a class is. Then what is a label? Labels are specific tags or identifier assigned to the pixels in an image to show which class they belong to. For example, every pixel labeled as apple would belong to an apple class. And the same goes for donkey or any other object for that matter. Now, let's understand another common term that we'll be using frequently, episodes. When we watch a movie or a video, it's nothing but a collection of many images put together in a sequence and then played. We see a smooth transition between scenes, just like the flip book shown here. Just as a video is a sequence of images or frames that create a moving picture over time, right? A LiDAR episode is a sequence of point cloud frames that capture how the environment changes over time. We are now ready to start with the types of annotation techniques. In a 3D space, points represent real world distances and positions. This makes it more challenging but also more powerful as it captures depth and spatial relationship. This animation here captures how we can visualize some cars moving through the space. With the help of cuboid bounding boxes. In 2D images, car far away might appear small, but to gauge the exact distance at which it is would be very challenging. While in a 3D point cloud, you can measure its exact size and position in the environment, thus giving a true measurement of its relative distance from other objects as well. Now, bounding box is one of the main 3D annotation types widely used in the industry. What are bounding boxes? They are simple rectangular cuboids placed around the object in the point cloud to define the object's shape, size, and location in 3D space. For example, an annotator can place this bounding box around other vehicles and maybe a bicycle to mark their location in 3D space. Self-driving cars use this process to detect and track vehicles, people, obstacle in real time. We will now look at another annotation process called as segmentation. It is a process that involves labeling individual points in a point cloud, as you can see here, to classify them as specific object or region. To understand it more clearly, look at this image here. We can also look at this image. Here we assign a class or category to every point in the cloud depending on what object the point belongs to. For example, all points belonging to a tree might be labeled as tree with the color green as shown in this image, and those on the ground might be labeled road with the color pink or violet, and so on. This process helps us to understand finer details, like which points from a road form a road versus a sidewalk, and forms a distinction between different regions in the environment. Now, in order to annotate, there are various tools available that can be readily used based on your application or use case. Since annotating LiDAR data is complex, it is more efficient to use specialized tool for this process. Let us now go through some of the popularly used applications. The first one would be Supervisely. So you can head over to supervisely.com and you should see the screen. It shows a lot of features they have. What you want to do to get a free trial is to click on try online for free. Once you click that, you will end up on the create your account page. Enter your email address, your username, your password, and agree to their terms. Create the account. Once you click the create account, you may get an email to verify your email ID. And once you have verified your email ID, come back to supervisely.com, click login, and this should take you to a login page where you can enter your credentials that you just entered and hit login. And this should take you directly to the project page. Another great application is Segments AI, which also provides a free trial for their new users for up to 14 days, I believe. And you get to use their services and understand the layout and everything. Let's see how to sign up on Segments AI. Um, Head over to segments.ai and you should see a page like this. Uh, what you want to do is click on get your free trial. Okay. Enter your email, username, and passwords similar to Supervisely. Hint IND and start your free trial. Once you have verified your email address, you should be able to go back to this page and click login and enter your credentials here. And that should take you to the projects page for segments.ai. So that marks the end of this module, the module 2. In the next module, we'll start with the annotation lab. We will go over through some key challenges and how to solve them. Thank you and see you next time.